Good morning. Thank you for taking your seats very promptly. We have a packed day ahead of us. My name is Caro. I am your MC for this, the second day of the 5th National Elder Abuse Conference. I can't think of a more important issue to be talking about at this particular time, and that has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that I turned 60 a few months ago. Welcome to you all. I have heard a bit about what happened yesterday, and I believe that you went to some places that you haven't been before at this particular conference, which I know has been going for 5 years, and that it was very challenging but very important. I also know that today there is an emphasis on the legal arena around this issue, with lots of people with expertise in that area talking to us this morning and throughout the day, and also about the financial abuse situation, which of course is the most common form of elder abuse in our society today. I've been given a few stats on elder abuse in our community in Australia, which for many of you in the audience who I know work in this sector all your working days probably are not news. They were to some extent news to me, although I do notice, as one of the dwindling number of women of a certain age who still occasionally appear on the television screen, that I do get contacted by a lot of people in this age group, and particularly women in this age group, telling me the stories of their lives and the things that they are dealing with. And my eyes have been very much opened to what is going on amongst older people in Australia, and it is terrifying and shocking, and particularly the vulnerability of older women has been something that has taken me somewhat by surprise. So if you will indulge me, I'll just go through some of these stats again, I suppose to set a bit of a context for us. At least 180,000, that's 5% of our 3.6 million older people, will experience some form of elder abuse. In 40 years, this number will rise to at least 435,000 people. Financial abuse, as I said before, is the most common form, and it contributes 36% of cases. There are 2,500 reportable cases of assault in aged care each year. Victims of elder abuse often share common characteristics. They often have a disability of some kind. 62% of older people who report abuse have some kind of disability, such as, and this is really kind of awful, dementia. They're often women. 2.5 times as many reports of abuse concern older women than men. They often, and this is perhaps where elder abuse has something in common with domestic violence, they're often living with the perpetrator. Over half of psychological, physical or social abuse victims live with the perpetrator of the crime, which must make their home a horrific place to be. 28% of those reporting abuse live with their adult child. And about 2/3 of older people who report abuse own their own home, either with or without a mortgage. And the majority of perpetrators of the abuse reported to Senior Rights Victoria Helpline in 2012 to 2014 were the children of the victim. That's the saddest thing I can possibly think of, that your own child would become eventually your abuser. That's 67%. Sons responsible for 40% of incidents reported, daughters for 27%. Spouses, it's very small. 5% husbands, 3% wives. These statistics are very sobering for all of us, and I think it's a wonderful thing that we have a conference of this size and with this level of interest by all sorts of people, those in positions of power and influence in Australia, but also workers in the field and indeed in the media. We need to do something about this, and it's wonderful to see a conference like this getting active and trying very hard to do something about this.